Section 10.2, starting on page 710. Number 1, find the value of x. So we have in our circle central angle of 60, 130, and x, so going all the way around the circle, that should add up to 360. So x would be equal to 360 minus those other two central angles. So minus 60 and 130, which give us 190. So 360 minus 190, which gives us 170 degrees. And the next section, HK and IG are diameters of circle L. Identify each arc as a major arc. So that will be between 180 and 360. A minor arc between 0 and 90. Or a semicircle, which is just 180 degrees. Then find its measure. So for number 3, the measure of IHJ. So I going through H and ending up at J. As we can see here, that's the entire circle except for this part, which has a central angle of 90, so that arc is 90. So to find IHJ, we simply take the entire circle and subtract the part that we don't want. So minus 90, which gives us 270 degrees. 270 is greater than 180, so this would be a major arc. Major arc. All right, number 5. Let me go ahead and erase number 3. And let's see, number 5, HGK. So H going through G, ending up at K. Well, we were told in the directions that HK is a diameter. So an arc with its endpoints on the diameter is a semicircle. And a semicircle is always 180 degrees. In the next section, QS is the diameter of circle V. Find each measure. Number 7, STP. So starting at S, going through T, ending up at P. To find this measure, we would just add these two central angles together. So our answer is just going to be 72 plus 75, which is equal to 147 degrees. Number 9, we want to find the measure of PQR. All right, P is here, going through Q, ending up at R. So that's this part of the circle. On the other side, we have this major arc over here. And this major arc would be made up of 90 degrees, 75, and 72. So to get this part, we want to subtract these other 3 parts from 360. So PQR can be found by taking 360 minus 90, 75, and 72. Which those add up to 237. So 360 minus 237, and we end up with 123 degrees. Number 11, find the length of JK. So the formula for arc length is equal to x over 360, where x is the central angle, times the circumference. Circumference remember, we can write either as 2 pi r or diameter times pi, since the diameter is 2 times the radius. And we want to round to the nearest hundredth, so 2 decimal places. For number 11, JK has a central angle of 105. So our length is going to be equal to, actually I should probably just write JK is equal to central angle over 360 times the circumference. Since we're given the diameter, I'm just going to take, for circumference, diameter times pi. And we would just type this into our calculator as 105 divided by 360 times 15 pi. Now, to the nearest hundredth, we would get 13.74 centimeters. So 13.74 centimeters. Number 13, find the value of x. So the entire circle would be 360. We have 65 plus 70 plus x is 360. So to find x, we just need to take 360 and subtract these other two that we don't want. So minus 65 and 70. And 65 and 70, that would be 135. And 135 from 360 would give us 225 degrees. Number 15. Once again, the entire revolution is 360, so we can set up an equation where 135 plus 145 plus x all the way around is equal to 360. Now, x plus x we can just write as 2x. And if we combine our like terms, 135 and 145, we get 280. Subtracting 280 from both sides, we would get 80. And dividing both sides by 2, we get 40. So x is equal to 40 degrees. In the next section, AD and CG are diameters of circle B. Identify each arc as a major arc, minor arc, or semicircle. Then find its measure. So for number 17, we want AC. Okay, this is obviously less than 180, so this would be a minor arc. I'm just going to write minor. And to find AC, well, from here all the way to here would be 180 because AD is the diameter. So we just want to subtract this part from 180. So we would have 180 minus 55, and my answer is 125 degrees. For number 19, find the measure of arc CGD. So C, go through G, end up at D. Well, that's the entire circle except for this part. So it's obviously greater than 180, so we can call that a major arc. And I'll just write major. And to find its measure, we would take the entire circle, or 360, and subtract the part that we don't want, which is 55. So my answer here would just be 305 degrees. Number 23. Oops, skipped one. Number 21. Let's find the measure of arc ACD. So from A through C to D, well, back in my directions, I know that AD is a diameter, so its endpoints are on the diameter, which means it's a semicircle or 180 degrees. I'm just going to write semi for semicircle and 180. Number 23, find the measure of ACF. So A through C, ending up at F. For ACF, we need to take the entire circle minus AG and GF. So we want the entire circle except for this part and this part. Now, AG is vertical with 55, so it will be 55. So number 23, I'll write that right over here. It's obviously a major arc because it's greater than 180. To find its measure, we want to take the entire circle and subtract the two parts, AG and GF, that we don't want. So minus 55 and 35, which add up to 90. So we have 360 minus 90, or 270 degrees. All right, that's a good stopping point, and I'll pick up with the rest of the problems on another clip.